Tuesday, the 24th of September, 7:45, Chelsea host Barrow in the third round of the Carabao Cup. And this game is going to be interesting. Chelsea come off the back of a 3-0 demolishing of West Ham at the London Stadium Saturday just gone, and I am still buzzing over that performance. We now shift our attention to the Carabao Cup third round, where we host Barrow at Stamford Bridge Tuesday at 7:45. Enzo Marasca said in his latest press conference there'll be a lot of rotation. He had some good news saying Malo Gusto is fit and available, will be part of the squad. I don't think he will start personally, but we'll get into that. We also have Romeo Lavia news. He's not ready for tonight, but should be ready for the Brighton game, which is fantastic news for the Premier League squad. And we also heard some academy players will be playing against Barrow. I'm going to be honest, I know nothing about Barrow, and there's no disrespect to them. This is a game that Chelsea should be winning comfortably. All I know about Barrow is they're currently top of League 2. That doesn't mean that we get to underestimate them and not respect them as a team. So in this video, I'll be going over my predicted 11 of who I think Enzo Marasca will select, alongside giving my thoughts and opinions on players I believe should get some game time too. Now let's get into this predicted 11. Starting off with the goalkeeper, I have chosen Jorgensen. Now, we know that Jorgensen is a good goalkeeper, and for the start of the season, myself and a lot of Chelsea fans were screaming for Jorgensen to be Chelsea's #1 because we had a lack of faith in Robert Sanchez, and I'll be the first one to admit it. I've been very public about my lack of faith in Robert Sanchez. However, there is a very clear reason why Enzo Marasca wanted Robert Sanchez as Chelsea's #1 that we are slowly starting to see, especially after the last 2 games that he's played, keeping back-to-back away clean sheets, and just his distribution in general. His games have been outstanding. So with that said, Jorgensen goes in the net for me. Moving on to left back, I have chosen Renato Vega because this guy is solid defensively. He loves the club already. You can clearly see that the way he tries to get the crowd involved every time he plays. He's been very solid and very consistent in his performances that we've seen, whether it's the Conference League or in the Premier League when he made his debut in midfield. He is the Swiss Army knife for defenders for Enzo Marasca, and I think that he will play left back against Barrow just to get some game time. I honestly think he could push Cucurella for the left back position in that starting 11 for the Premier League as the season goes on, because this guy has already shown the quality that he has. Moving on to the left centre-back, I have chosen Benoit Badiashile, and I hate putting Badiashile in predicted 11s because I don't rate him as a footballer. I'm not going to be disrespectful or rude to him. I just don't rate him. He's full of mistakes. He's not the same player he used to be before his injury when he first signed. He played like 5-6 games for us. He looked like a Rolls-Royce defender, got injured, never been the same since, and he's always causing mistakes and disruption in that back line. However, the only way to rectify that is to play games, and I feel like in cup competitions and the Conference League, that's where we're going to see Benoit Badiashile more than the Premier League. Moving on to the right centre-back, I've chosen Axel Disasi for very similar reasons. Axel Disasi has done a very good job at right back. Well, I say a very good job. He's had some really bad games, like the Bournemouth game. But what I mean is he's done well to play right back when we're in need of one. He does that job relatively well. Sometimes he's amazing, sometimes he is terrible, and there is no in-between. He's a very inconsistent player. However, at centre-back, he is still a very inconsistent player. I feel like he just needs game time and he needs confidence, and I feel him and Badiashile, out of the centre-backs we have and the partnerships we can create, Badiashile and Disasi have the most chemistry between them, and I feel like they will play against Barrow. Moving on to right back, I am sticking with my guns, and I am going with Josh Akinpong. I want him to play. He's in the squad. He's fit. He's ready. He's available. Malo Gusto is also fit, ready, and available. However, I don't want Enzo Marasca to rush him in and give him a 90-minute game. I want him to integrate him slowly, give him some minutes in the second half, maybe the half if he is ready for it. But this is a prime opportunity for someone like Akinpong to start. Stamford Bridge, under the lights, midweek game. He could really show us what he's made of. Moving on to the left-hand side of that double pivot, I have chosen Moises Caicedo. Now, there are a few other variations that I've thought of that we could do this. You could have Viega play this role and then have Ben Chilwell at left back. We could see that. I don't think we will, so I'm going to stick with this system. However, I'm more than happy to be proven wrong. I've gone with Moises Caicedo purely because we don't have another defensive midfielder other than Viega who could play there. We're going to be resting Enzo. We're going to be resting Lavia because he's not fit enough and he should be ready for the Brighton game. doesn't really leave us with much options. So I'm going with Caicedo. I'm hoping that in this game, he can keep his head down, have a quiet game, just do his job and stay injury free. So he is ready to face Brighton at the weekend. Moving on to the right-hand side of that double pivot, I have chosen Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. Now, it may look strange seeing him as a defensive midfielder, but bear in mind, we typically invert from the left. The midfielders drive up and you have them 2 advanced 8s while in possession. KDH will be one of those. Which means, you know, the left-back Viega will partner Caicedo in the middle and then KDH will push forward. He's become a fringe player already and he was a summer signing. He's not been very impressive with his performances. We've seen a glimpse of what he is able to do in pre-season and since then he's looked miles off it. But again, games like this, cup games against lower league opposition or Conference League games, that's where he has these opportunities to showcase why Chelsea have signed him. He was the main man at Leicester. He's not at Chelsea. So he has to adapt to that. He has to show us why he deserves to play. And I feel like a game against Barrow is a prime example for him to do that. Moving on to the left wing, I have chosen Mykhailo Mudryk. Now, again, this guy has become a fringe player with the signings of Jadon Sancho and Pedro Neto and how great and how well they've integrated into Enzo Marasca's system and this Chelsea side. They've played so well. I don't think Mykhailo Mudryk should be anywhere near the starting 11 of our Premier League team. However, that doesn't mean that he can't be. Again, in cup games, Conference League games, these are his opportunities to really prove a point, go out there and say, I deserve to be playing for the Premier League first 11. This is why. And he should go out there, you know, build his confidence and showcase why Mykhailo Mudryk is a Chelsea player. Because if he doesn't, I feel like his days are limited. There have been reports saying he wants to leave in January. There's also reports from our side saying we're looking to offload him in January. Either way, if Chelsea want to get money out of him, and Mudryk wants that move, he's going to have to play well to get the move that he wants to get regular football. Otherwise, people are going to go, well, he can't even perform against lower league opposition. Why would we want? We don't want to touch him. He could potentially go on loan. That could be an option, but I think this is a prime opportunity for Mykhailo Mudryk to really prove and showcase what he's capable of. Moving into that number 10 position, I have gone with Carney Chukwuemeka, purely because I really want to see him play. I rate this guy so highly as a player. He has been injured. He's been also become a fringe player. There was this period in the summer transfer window whether we were going to sell him, we were going to keep him, and it was kind of like back and forth. We're going to loan him out. He stayed at the club. I'm glad he stayed at the club. He's young. He's got a lot of talent. Very good footballer. Just needs to have consistent game time and remain fit for a long period of time. Availability is the best trait a footballer can have. And he's now fit, available. And I think there's a prime opportunity to, again, maybe get on the score sheet, get his confidence up and just showcase what he can do. It's very tough in that front or final third for Chelsea in terms of rotation and the talent we've got. So I understand that Chukwuemeka's got a lot of competition, but he should be getting minutes. Moving on to the right wing, I have chosen Tyreek George. I think this is, again, a prime opportunity to see an academy player start for Chelsea under the lights, midweek game, cup game, no sort of pressure, just to go out there and perform and show us what you can do. He played quite well in the pre-season glimpses that we've seen. We know that he's a very talented player. And also, Noni has played, I don't hold me to this, but I think he's played the most minutes in a Chelsea shirt this season. He's obviously going to be dropped and rested for this game. And I feel like we should be giving Tyreek George that game time to play against Barrow and just see what he can do. And that leaves the number 9 for Chelsea, who will lead the line for Chelsea against Barrow on Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup third round game. I have chosen Mark Guiu. Now, a lot of people would say should be Christopher Nkunku. He's in that rotation with the first team and he should be getting more minutes. I totally agree. However, with this type of cup game, I think it's perfect for Mark Guiu to open the floodgates, to get some confidence, get some minutes. This guy's incredibly talented, still very raw. The pressing, the link-up play, the passing, it is perfect. He just needs to score that first Chelsea goal, and I feel like this is the game where he can achieve that. So that is my predicted Chelsea 11 to face Barrow Tuesday night at Stamford Bridge, 7:45 kickoff in the third round of the Carabao Cup. Do you agree with this lineup, or would you play players in different positions? Let me know in the comments your thoughts and suggestions. I love having a conversation with you guys. I want to say thank you for all the love on the channel so far. It has been incredible. I love you guys already. If you're not following me on TikTok, there is a link in the description. Make sure you check me out there for daily Chelsea content. Now, when it comes to score predictions, I'm going to go for 4-0 Chelsea. Again, that's no disrespect to Barrow. I just think this is the type of game where we can go out there, showcase the talent we've got, and build some confidence. If Barrow bring it to us at the Bridge, amazing. They'll be in for a great night out. But I feel like Chelsea should steamroll this 3 or 4-0. Maybe more. Maybe more. But if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and make sure you turn on notifications to be notified every single time I upload a video talking Chelsea. And at this point of the video, there is a thumbnail on the screen. I don't know whereabouts. If you do like Chelsea content, make sure you click that thumbnail because it will be a video that you will also enjoy.